Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 82 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I'm your host, Greg Zeno. Tonight, as always, we have B-Dubs.
Hello.
He can kill all of us now.
I can. I
He has
have
the
infinite power.
Unlimited power!
They have no idea what they were thinking.
Seacoler is here.
Hello, guys.
And for the first time, we have a special guest. It's Chug from the Toonami Rundown.
Showdown.
Showdown.
Yeah, we barely know our name either. It's okay.
And
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten our name flubbed yet.
I've been close several times.
Yeah, I never got to be on back in the gaff day.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about, after like 2 weeks, the last episode of Countdown, in which Tom just takes a bunch of money and shovels it into a hole and sets it on fire.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, sometimes you need a fire, man. You gotta stay warm somehow. It's probably cold in space.
I mean, you know, he's right.
I'm sure robots get cold.
Anyway, so in the last episode of Countdown, a bunch of stuff happens that doesn't make sense, and so now Tom is damaged.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's punished Tom now.
I think you guys should refer to him as that. I think that's going to be a thing on our show too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like Punished Tom. Actually, that's what I'm going to change the thread title to. I'm going to do that right now.
All right.
A robot denied by his country.
Yes. I kind of dig it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody in our thread group watch was kind of let down by the fact that they didn't change the packaging.
Yeah, they
And-
said that
Yeah.
they didn't change it because the look was very popular, which that's true.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of
But
like.
also, this was literally the one thing these things are supposed to exist for.
Yeah. I mean, they changed Tom up at least.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's completely bust.
No, I mean, they changed something.
Yeah.
There also won't be another one until 2019.
I mean, that's probably a good idea.
By the way, a few weeks, this probably happened in time for our last podcast, but someone always asks the question on DeMarco's Ask, is like, I heard you guys are getting canceled soon. And he was like, no, we have plans through 2021.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. I'm gonna be doing these podcasts for a long time.
And it takes a while to bring up the production on Bleach Blood War.
Yes.
God.
We need to make sure we get that at least.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like they keep expanding the block instead of contracting it, so I don't imagine it's going anywhere anytime soon.
And it's
Yeah,
not like
and-
this last expansion was just, we added Big O to the back.
Yeah, this
Well,
was, we're pushing forward.
That's another reason why I don't think there's a real reason to be upset about the block packaging changing, because if it saves money for them to not change it very much and just put that money more towards show acquisitions and things, it's definitely
Mhm.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still wanted to see how cool that new look was going to be, but I guess it's next year.
2 years.
Or year after that.
No,
Yeah.
they said so. There's not a tie next year, but they are going to change the look sometime next year.
Oh, okay.
That's the first I've heard that. Okay.
That's new news, I think.
So it was like right around when Countdown just happened. So
Oh, all right.
I
so
mean,
wasn't
it's new
paying
to
attention.
us. We hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
rest assured.
I really like the look of the bumps in this current era, so I'm kind of cool with them sticking around with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with it too. I think the only thing I miss, but I understand why it's not there, is I used to love the little like return to commercial things that would say like up next.
Oh yeah, those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
love
dropped
those
those because
things.
they said everyone has a TV guide on their remote.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
also, you, Toonami, are a block that is a presentation block. Those things don't have a reason to exist, but neither does anything else.
Yeah,
At, at the at the same time, it probably saves them money not to have to make those every time they get a new show.
Yeah. It's been a while since they've had those, haven't they?
Oh, a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, everything you guys have said is true. Like, they don't need to make them. It obviously saves like 5 seconds every commercial break or something.
Hmm.
So that's more time that they can put into openings and endings. So there's a lot of reasons not to do them. But boy, those were kind of like one of my favorite things about the block packaging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were cool.
Yeah, I remember back during the April Fool's broadcast, that was one of the things that really caught my attention was that little like up next now and like later bump.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every time something would come in, the thread back on Gaff would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a neat little novelty, but
There were like 50
Yeah.
straight posts of people just going, you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, it's a great thing to like build hype and stuff, but they are kind of right that you don't really need it at this point in time.
Well, let me put it this way, though. They could do them. They just need to switch out the thing that they do now with it. You know what I mean? Like, because they still do a returning from commercial sort of thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes, but
I
in
mean,
this
a little
case, it's
bit.
like a kind of a. It does allow more space for like a real bump because those now
Yeah.
next later things would just be like, here's a 2 second clip.
Yeah, I still like them better though.
But we might have not gotten excellent things like that gum bump that you
God.
guys wanted.
That's
gum.
There have been some great, just stupid bumps over the years.
Yeah, I would agree.
Chopper sliding down that water slide. Ah! Remember, brilliant.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that callback this time when the bumps were broken, and I actually don't know if there was any plot reason for the bumps to get broken this time, but I had fun with it, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
complain.
So, what other news was there? I'm trying to think.
They announced a Adult Swim Toonami loot box.
Oh,
They
great.
did.
Oh, that's been announced, to be fair, but
Yeah.
yeah, loot box, woo.
Year
No,
of the loot boxes.
No, I mean, I want a T-shirt once, but I don't really wear it, so I'm not gonna, order a loot box.
Oh, me too. I also won one of those, but yeah, no, same. I kind of wouldn't mind a Tom figure thing, but like, I'm not buying a loot box.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
worry,
I mean,
Sonic will win all of them.
I mean, if they told you what was in them,
They-
and it
they
was
did
cool
say-
stuff.
they did show one thing you get, which is a like 3D crystal like Sarah figurine where she's like encased in crystal. That was like the only thing they showed, and they were like, "Oh, this is worth a lot." And then I kind of was tempted to get it because it's like $50. And then they say, "Oh, you can cancel anytime," but they also make it like a subscription thing that you have to cancel. So there was
Mhm.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just I'm not down with the whole like weird loot box thing that everyone seemed to be. I remember when that was a fad a little bit ago, and I feel like it's kind of on the decline, but it's still just. I never got into it. I don't want to start now.
I think what I would
I mean-
prefer. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. It's like a subscription service thing,
Yeah.
but and like the next one is Robot Chicken, but I mean, I would be happy if they just made that loot box available later for like $30, and I just buy it, outright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be better.
The only thing I'm like kind of think is cool about this is there isn't really, and I really wish they just put it on sale. There isn't really a way to get this stuff otherwise. I don't really have a store.
Now,
Yeah.
if you take them by their word, it says specifically. I checked the website out of curiosity. It says that all of the items in the box are not available any other way.
Yeah, and I kind of believe that just with how weird it is to get Toonami merch. But loot boxes always kind of came across as we have extra shit, just shove it in a box and sell it to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they say they say again, you gotta take their word for it, but they say that its value is about $100.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
guess.
always kind of like, yeah, but that's because you sell a T-shirt for like 30, or whatever.
Oh man, t-shirts are too much money for some reason. But yeah,
So, you want to talk about the block?
no.
Well, okay. That's been the episode of the Toonami Escape podcast. Everyone will see you guys. No,
Yeah.
we will talk about Dragon Ball Super.
We probably should.
Dragon Ball Super Episode 42, A Chaotic Victory Party, Showdown at Last, Monaka versus Goku. Someone tell me why every, like, kind of big important Toonami night always starts off with, like, a pure comedy super episode.
It just does.
Are you complaining?
No.
Comedy
Those are the best
super is
episodes.
best super.
Yes.
This is true.
I say that, but I feel like that was almost kind of back in the era when we had the god-awful Frieza arc. And the comedy episodes were the one shining point. But I didn't hate this last arc. I liked it actually quite a bit. But no, this was a fun episode.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Goten and Trunks saved the world, essentially. Well, I mean, they made a fool out of Beerus, so, you know, that's a win.
Everybody was made a fool of in this episode. Remember the part where Piccolo had to act like he was hurt?
Oh, God.
Oh no, my arm! He's controlling it!
Poor did something. I think that's the craziest thing.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he used his powers on Goku, and they almost worked.
No, they did.
When Puar has not used these powers
Almost.
on screen in literally
That's what I was
like
about to say.
25 years.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever seen that character do anything ever. So that, I was like,
I mean,
I guess that's his ability. I never knew that.
It has literally been decades.
I mean, he didn't even do that shit against Vegeta and Nappa, and he was, you know, and he suicided against them.
Oh, Chaozu.
Chaozu was also in this episode. He still exists.
And used a power where he could apparently hold people in place.
Yeah, the telekinetic thing.
Yes.
He tried to do that against Nappa, but Nappa.
I don't remember that.
Oh man, I don't remember that either.
It was like it might have only been the original Dragon Ball Z, but I believe there was a bit where he tried and he's like, no, I can't hold him, and that was that.
And yet he was able to hold Goku a little bit.
Who at this point is literally several trillion times stronger than Nappa.
So something you'll learn about Super. Super doesn't care about power levels.
That's
this is
good.
true.
That's a
much
good
as
thing.
The Dragon Ball Super thread seems to care about power levels.
They
And
do.
meanwhile, Yamcha was Yamcha by giving away the plan. That's what he contributed.
Oh yes, but
Yamcha's still shitty.
Amazing moments. Poor Yamcha.
I mean, he's still horrible.
I enjoyed Chris Sabat making fun of Chris Sabat's acting ability.
That was good.
Let's be honest, all my roles are roles where I just play myself and drink coffee.
Oh man,
Who doesn't like it?
It's still crazy that this is like actually a decrease of the original Dragon Ball Z, where he was voicing like the majority of the Ginyu Force.
Oh God, I still remember that. That was like he did a good job with that, though. You know, like you could hardly tell sometimes.
Yeah,
If any voice actor deserves to get paid lifelong royalties for a thing, it's Chris Sabat with the original Dragon Ball Z.
I
He's
agree.
screaming,
Chris Sabat as everyone.
Like,
and then he yells as
you can
everyone.
really see why they cast Chris Sabat as everyone, because that dude actually has the range for it.
This is true.
But I'm glad they did decrease some of his roles just for maybe even the sake of that guy's sanity.
I mean that and his vocal cords, because everyone in Dragon Ball just yells so much.
I mean, and this was original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, where some of these characters actually mattered a little bit more.
Oh,
and Dragon Ball Z, when, just episodes of yelling.
And Mr. Satan's assistant, her name is Pizza.
I didn't know she had a name.
Apparently she does, and it's Pizza.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I know Mr. Satan said something to her, but I was like, what was that? And I was like, oh, it's that one announcer girl. Yeah, they brought them back.
I kind of like that. That's one of the things I like about Super in general, is like every character Toriyama has in his back pocket, he like pulls them out for this series. I kind of like that.
Unless their name is Launch. But yeah, I would agree.
Oh, that's true.
No, she came back at one point. Didn't she?
In Super?
No.
In a flashback.
No. This is right.
I think in a flashback.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, I don't think she comes back.
Yeah, she got
does
like.
she?
What does he have against Launch?
I don't.
Oh no,
Toriyama
I'm thinking. I'm thinking of that fan comic where Piccolo and Vegeta pretended to be Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Anyway, shall I talk about Dragon Ball Z Kai?
Sure.
Do we have to?
Yes. Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters, episode 141. What anger gives rise to another Majin? This is an episode title without a second sentence in it.
Oh
Is
shit!
it-
Toei,
That's how
what
you
are
know.
you doing?
That's how you know things are getting real.
So, disaster averted. Mr. Satan kicks that guy's ass.
Yep.
Yeah. Mr. Satan fought someone and won.
I mean, he's trash compared to the main cast, but compared to like
Yeah.
the average Earth guy, he could probably kick their asses.
For a brief moment in time, Mr. Satan quite literally saved the world.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, he did.
I mean, he technically saved the world, against Cell, but
Yeah. But he really saved the world this time, and
no, yeah, he legitimately saved the world.
Like
But
this time, nothing the other characters did mattered, only what he did.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think this is the first time I've ever seen Mr. Satan do something sort of selfless. Like there was nothing in it for him to beat up the Australian guy.
Yeah,
He was just straight up mad that that guy shot that dog and made Boo mad. And it's like
Well, I
it was
mean-
actually like the first endearing thing I've ever seen him do.
well, I mean, there's also the time he was all panicking when Videl got hurt, but
yeah,
Yeah, I
like,
guess that's a little
you
different,
have
though.
some moments of clarity with Mr. Satan where you kind of see where he's not such a bad guy. But I do think this is the best episode that shows that. Like, you have him looking
Yeah.
at the picture and being like, you know what? No, he's a nice dude. He just didn't know what he was doing, and rips up the
Yeah.
picture. And it's
Yeah.
And he took a bullet.
yeah.
I was surprised. That surprised me.
He tried to rush this dude with a gun. So yeah, Mr. Satan stepping up.
Yeah, he's pretty legit.
Unfortunately, now we have to deal with Evil Boo, who
Gray
looks
matter
like a
Boo.
weirdo.
I hate this design, and I'm glad it doesn't stick around long.
I mean, it sticks around for like what, half an episode?
Yeah, it's gone. I think next week, but
Yeah,
That explains a lot because there's a lot of stuff someone like me who never watched Dragon Ball just gets through osmosis, and
Yeah.
I had never seen this before.
yeah.
there's
No, I
like
mean,
3 other forms of Boo that are shown for like maybe 5 minutes of an episode, and we'll go.
Really?
away. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Huh.
there's some weird looking ones, but this one is specifically because, you had to make Boo a bad guy again because Mr. Satan was sort of turning him into a good guy. So you kind of need to have, oh, there's a new gray Boo and he's Boo's evil side and, whatnot. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, Mr. Satan just fixed everything and, they can just wish everyone back easy peasy.
Boo added an extension to his house, again, probably made of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
I kind of wonder what he used this time because I think he did. I think we established he wasn't using people.
It's
Maybe
Boo's
he was-
Boo!
He might have used that dude.
No, that
Right.
dude's still alive. He's like on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's right.
That's right. He's still there.
Yeah,
Um,
Sean Connery's on the ground somewhere, and then the other Australian guy got vaporized by.
Yeah. Wait, hang on, let me think. Maybe he used like deers or cows or something.
Yeah,
Which I mean it's better than people at least.
yeah, it's the humane. way.
Well, yeah, they probably
Hold
cut
on,
away.
we're gonna find that blind kid.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
we're back with new house.
Maybe he just found there's only 20% of the world left. I'm sure 20% of the world isn't using that much clay. Like, I'm sure there's some
We-
spare
yeah.
around.
I don't think he used clay. I think he used the same crap he used the first time.
Oh, God. Boo's house is people.
Yeah.
Boo's house is literally Soylent Green.
Yes, that's a reference.
So, looks like all the action is probably next episode. So,
Yeah.
is there anything else about this one?
Gohan's still sitting in a meadow with an old man trying to get stronger.
That's right.
Goten and Trunks. Their moms yelled at Piccolo.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
Piccolo knows what he's doing. Sometimes the kids need tough love.
I mean, this is true. Those kids are, they have no idea what the hell they're dealing with.
Piccolo
This
is
is
the
a really
man
bad
who
time.
actually raises people's kids.
Yes.
Mhm.
This is a really bad time for Elder Kai to be running around being Elder Kai.
It really is.
Oh God, yeah. This was, I never found these jokes particularly funny, even as a kid.
No, they
But
were never funny.
it's like it's kind of like, yeah, whatever, old man character. That's anime for you. But just with the recent stuff, it's just like
It's awkward.
it's like, oh no, don't do
I mean,
that.
look on the bright side. At least they're not airing like Ranma 1/2 right now.
Yeah, but
Because I
man,
mean, that would be like a million times worse.
every,
Aha! Old-timey stuff.
they need to get rid of old guy's Bulma dialogue. I'm glad they toned him down in Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super.
I mean, he doesn't really do much other than call
He
Shin
just
an idiot.
he hangs around and just talks down to the other guy, which is kind of whatever.
I remember when we used to hate Shin so much that we were like, this guy's a top 3 worst character for sure, but now it's like,
He's not so bad.
whatever.
He's just hanging out, man.
I mean, yeah, he's blatantly incompetent, but there's worse things.
Anyways, speaking of worse things.
Oh God, can we not? Seriously,
No,
can we
we
not?
absolutely have to do this one.
Like,
This is the star of the show.
I got 3 minutes in and I had to stop.
Did you watch the episode, actually?
I watched the first 3 minutes and then I tried to kill myself.
Did you finish watching the episode?
Sounds drastic.
No.
Oh,
Not-
gee.
What am I,
Well, some
suicidal?
of us did, so
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, B-dubs, you have to go. You have to watch it.
All right, I'll watch it tonight.
for the
Black
rest
Clover,
of us,
episode 1. Asta and Yuno. This episode begins with babies screaming and does not get better from an audio standpoint.
No, it does not. I'm just like, oh God, everything about what I saw was horrible.
So I because I hate myself, I did some homework. I did some research here, and I read about 80 chapters of this manga.
Why?
I wanted to see if it was really that bad.
Is it?
You know what? I actually don't think it's that bad in written format.
I believe the manga is both rapidly paced. 2, you can't hear any of the characters speaking.
Yes.
That's true.
But what I have learned is I do think some of the characters we get introduced to are fine.
yeah. Cosmic Blizzard in the thread on the group watch said that the show has better side characters who get more screen time. Later.
Yes.
I mean, that's good because I hate Asta so much.
The only thing I'm worried about is I don't think Asta's ever going to stop being Asta.
No.
Oh God.
I think reading the manga it's fine because you can't hear him, but it's just like reading it, I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna be really annoying when it's actually animated. And I don't have any faith in Perot handling this competently, and I just expect the pacing to be absolute garbage because it's fucking. There's 130 chapters of this. There is no reason they should not have adapted this first chapter into one episode.
They have
Yeah.
through 8 episodes. They adapted 6 chapters.
Yeah, like that's
That's insane.
Not even a full
Yeah.
season into this. Not even 12 episodes into this show when they're already at sub 1 chapter per episode.
like that's
like that. Like they have this in. They have how many chapters again? And they're already at One Piece level. Let's turn one chapter into 3 episodes.
it's
Where can we shove an ostrich in here to make it interesting?
Well,
yeah.
to be fair, and this is probably one of the few times I'm going to speak positively about this first episode.
Oh
I actually didn't feel like the pacing of this episode was bad.
no! I mean,
I think it was fine. Having never read the manga, obviously I'm at the advantage of not knowing what's going to happen. So, however, having said that, I will say that there was almost nothing about this episode that I liked.
yeah.
All of the characters were really off-putting. Our
What you don't
protagonists,
boy who yells absolutely fucking everything.
Yeah, I mean, like I went in
And
bracing myself for the constant
The
yelling
yelling.
because that was a meme, right? Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
I
That was the
I
thread
could
title.
not believe
You are not
how much
prepared.
more yelling there was than I anticipated.
Seriously.
But on top of that, even just throw the yelling out. It's his character. Like, why am I supposed to like this character who is just an idiot
I don't know.
who's trying to
His
hit
magic
on a
is never
nun?
giving up.
Why?
Okay. Like I stopped like right after the whole nun thing because like no part of that scene made any sense to me whatsoever. Because I mean, like, okay, he's hitting
It's
on
not
the.
funny.
He's trying to. He's okay. He's trying to confess to the nun. It's like, okay, you like this girl, whatever. You confess to her. She says no, and then he's like, wait, let me try again. I'm like, what? How do you think this works? That's not how this works. And then he tries again, and then he tries again, and then he tries again, and then she hits him, and then she apologizes for hitting him for reasons that I don't understand. Like he deserved to be hit there, and then she apologizes for it. What the fuck?
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
the other guy comes, and I hate him more. I don't know
Oh,
how.
So then
but
we've
I
got
do.
Sasuke. Oh, I'm sorry. His name's Yuno.
even
He's
more
Sasuke.
generic Sasuke.
Yeah.
Like I
Okay.
hate him more than Asta.
Here's okay. So we got that character. We've got a little snot-nosed kid who can produce fire, who's kind of a jerk. We've got the father priest guy who's like weird. We've
Like he's a
got
pedophile.
Dumbledore who like spouts some kind of nonsense. I don't know
This
what
guy
his
shows
deal
up,
was.
and you can tell he's a wizard because he has a large beard.
He
I'm
looked
sorry, no.
He looked exactly like Gandalf.
Hello, I'm
No.
generic wizard man.
No, I will not let you compare this guy to Gandalf and
Just in
Dumbledore. He's
just
because
in appearance. Just in appearance.
Like every
Also,
single thing in this show,
he's
it is the
taken from
most
something
generic
else.
thing you have
yeah,
ever.
you got two mustache twirling bad guys trying to get their books, and they're just like so unbelievably like, look at me, I'm evil. You know,
Well,
there wasn't
yeah.
a single character in the whole show. There was a little girl who was just laughing at everything. She was like the most least offensive character. I guess the nun technically wasn't that offensive.
No.
That's it.
The nun offended me when she apologized because she had no reason to apologize.
I
Like,
will.
Remember
she
when
should
that
not.
guy is using magic to make the hoe move, and it's like, why didn't you just use the magic on the ground directly?
I don't know.
I will say
I mean-
this. Out of all of these characters, the only ones that actually matter are Asta and Yuno.
Oh
Yeah, I
God, fuck
figured.
me. I hate
But
them
it's just,
both.
I guess my point is that this should not be your introduction to this series.
Oh yeah, no, it's the most in-your-face shonen. It's
Crap.
yeah, it's like the very first scene. It's like, oh no, like your first introduction to Asta is him just being the most shonen motherfucker.
Right, and I'm not saying they can aspire to this, but like look at like the first episode of like One Piece. And like
Or
think
even
about how charming Luffy was in that first episode. Even though Luffy has some of the same traits, he's kind of a moron and you know, he wants to be king of the wizards, aka the pirates, you know, whatever.
Think
He's
about
nice
any
before.
first episode of any of significant
Yeah.
shonen recently.
Like
This
I will say
character,
Bleach.
Asta-
Even Naruto and
No, yeah,
Bleach.
no. Naruto makes the very good decision of giving Naruto a reason to be the Hokage. I don't know
Yeah.
why Asta actually wants to be Wizard King.
No, I mean that's sort of one of my complaints about what I saw was like when you're starting a story, you need to, nail down character motivation and why this everything going forward is important. Like what's changed in the status quo to propel the character forward.
So
And I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
try.
we didn't get either of those things.
Yeah, I'm going to try to give the show the benefit of the doubt right here. Although I think Chuck can correct me if I'm wrong about this if he likes, but the episode did do two things I think that kind of may redeem it one day. And one is that they made it pretty clear that owes Asta for something because he
Okay.
saved his life or something like that. So there may be something we don't know about Asta yet that will ultimately help redeem his character somewhat, or maybe give him a reason to be the king.
I
And
have
then the
heard that
second-
it is based that their dynamic is, yes, it is Naruto and Sasuke, but it's
Oh,
like,
God.
what if Sasuke didn't actually go evil?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Sasuke
That's
without
not
a
much
revenge
better.
motivation, actually.
What if they
So-
actually were friends?
Right.
Yeah,
And that
but-
happened at the very end of the episode where, unlike Sasuke, Yuno basically goes, "Oh no, he is my rival."
yeah, and it's really weird what they do with Yuno here because his character here is actually pretty different from what you have in the manga does this too, but it's really different than what you have. Like Yuno being kind of an ass is only going to be in this first episode,
That's
and
interesting.
I don't know what the deal with that was.
I mean, to go back to that, this is Sasuke without the revenge thing. Like Sasuke's entire like motivating force was the revenge thing. Like it was handled horribly, but him
Yeah.
having it was, genuinely a good thing for the character. It's sort of like both of these characters. I don't know why they want to do the things they want to do, so I don't really care about either of them.
I think, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like all we've seen is 24 minutes or less of this world and of these characters.
But these are the things that
feel-
should be
I feel
established in
judging it
those.
soon. But I just want to say that, having said that, like I think a show could do better to make me want to learn about these characters instead of making me repulsed of them.
Yeah.
I'm,
Because
I'm
that's
also,
it made me not want to know more about them.
I'm
Well,
also
I mean,
gonna, sorry.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put some blame on Perot here because they didn't finish adapting the entirety of the first chapter for some reason.
I see.
They got about the part because it's a pretty by the numbers first chapter.
What
but
are
they
they,
got
like
to
3
the part
pages
where
in?
they got to the part where you the hero gets the powers and is about to beat the bad guy and it's stopped, and I don't know why, and you're missing like the whole backstory around that.
I mean, I'm okay with that. It's just that, if you're going to do a first episode, you at least have to nail down character motivation, if nothing else.
Let me ask
Yeah,
you this,
I
Joe.
do agree.
Was what they showed pretty faithful to the manga?
Yeah, you had a bit of filler in there, but it wasn't anything major. So I would say yes, and like I do think it's still a problem. I don't think that first chapter is particularly great, but I'm kind of laying the blame on both of the property and Perot here because I think they really should have just adapted the entirety of the first chapter.
You think it would have helped?
I think it would have. I don't think it would have helped a lot. I think a lot of the complaints here are valid, and I think like Asta and not really having much motivation, I think is a valid point.
Yeah.
It's vague. I like that it's there. It doesn't really. I don't think it's as bad as Kaneki, who just feels like he's reacting to stuff the whole thing. And at least they
No,
have
I mean-
some sort of goal, but I think it needs.
We don't know why.
Yeah, why exactly?
Yeah. Like that's the important thing is like, we know why Luffy wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah,
Generally.
we know why Naruto wants to be the Hokage.
I mean, we even sort of get why Ichigo is like, yeah, no, I'll be a Soul Reaper now because, whatever.
I'll give Ichigo a little bit of shit because that manga is a lot of Ichigo reacting. But yeah,
I mean, it is, but that first chapter was
the first chapter,
like
I think,
it.
fine, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the first chapter basically nailed everything that it needed to nail. It did character motivation, status quo disruption, where it's going to go from here, the character dynamic thing. Like, it was pretty solid from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
I have another question too. Again, don't try not to spoil if you can, but I just have a kind of a general question about the series. Because the other impression I got about this episode is that it was, like you guys were saying, it's very by the numbers, very tropey, and yeah, it just feels like Naruto and maybe Fairy Tail kind of mixed together.
God.
So my question is, does this series have a hook that makes it something special, like makes it unique? Or is it just really just playing it by the numbers?
It does feel very Fairy Tail-ish, but I haven't actually read Fairy Tail. So I don't know if what they're doing is drastically different from Fairy Tail or not. So I don't feel super comfortable saying.
Well, I mean, okay, in defense of Fairy Tail, like, its issues aren't so much on the technical side as it is on the every arc is exactly the same as every other arc side. Like, it's very repetitive. It uses the same basic plot structure and, all that stuff for all of it.
Throw Fairy Tail out of the equation. Just like
All right.
every shonen series has something that makes it really endearing. Like the Naruto set in the ninja world, and it's and it's got that kind of structure, right? And this just feels like they took Naruto and they just, instead of ninjas, they just put magic in there. Is there anything else to it beyond that?
Some of the country. Oh man, all
You
of
can just
this.
say yes or no.
Let's just say
Maybe.
maybe. I don't know. I haven't read Fairy Tale. I really wish I could
Well, I mean-
say if this was drastically different from it or not.
Well,
and
I mean, that
don't
doesn't,
know.
just like ignore Fairy Tale. It's sort of like, is there anything
Does it do
about
anything
this?
No.
I mean, from what we've seen, no.
It doesn't bode well.
Everything I've seen in other animes, but I don't know if that's exactly a bad thing as much as just I think it's how the execution goes for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the clever is in the execution.
Yeah.
See, I'm a real fan of things that are original and different. Like my favorite shows are things like Gurren Lagann, One Piece, shows where like Soul Eater, where they just take a concept and they just do something completely new and interesting with it. And this feels like what was the show that we had last year? I've already forgotten its name.
Dimension
Man?
W. I don't know.
No. No. It's a terrible. We called it like just anime the show. What was it?
Akame ga Kill. I don't know.
Akame ga Kill.
Yes, Akame ga Kill. That's the vibe I'm getting from this.
Okay, this is not.
Okay.
I will say this is not as bad as Akame ga Kill.
Really? Because I thought the first episode of Akame ga Kill was better than the first episode of this.
I think the first
this is
episode
also
of the character.
51 by the way, this show is 50 episodes.
Oh yeah, prepare. I think Akame ga
shoot
Kill
me.
actually had a pretty decent first episode, but I think the rest of that show just sucks.
Akame ga Kill's first episode has a swerve that is pretty effective.
It also has at least one character that's likable.
Yeah.
That too.
We haven't even talked about some other stuff in this episode, like the unfortunate disability connotations.
Oh God.
Such as
I can't tell if that's intentional or not, because the nobles really are in this series supposed to be just assholes.
No, because they immediately give him superpowers anyway.
They still use it as a disability, though. Like, even though he has superpowers, they're still like, well, you don't have magic, buddy.
In a world where walking is everything, sucks to be you, kid in a wheelchair.
3 lines that you're going to hear over and over again. In a world where magic is everything, I'm going to be the Wizard King, and my magic is not giving up. Just those 3, prepare. Those never go away.
The most generic possible catchphrase he could have.
And we thought Naruto was bad.
Somebody in the thread said, "Why is everybody picking on the disabled boy?"
Can we also talk about the scene where the rival immediately gets the super special awesome sauce book?
Of
And
course.
then the hero gets the even more super special awesome sauce book right after that.
That's the part where I get that he's not supposed to be like Sasuke according to what you've read ahead. But that's the part where it was just like, oh yeah, he's the Sasuke character to me, because of course, and then everybody in the room just gets down ready to, kiss his feet.
Suck his more.
Something more.
The one thing I kind of do think is interesting about this world, and this isn't really much of a spoiler, but they use his heritage, that despite the fact that he has this awesome book, they use his heritage as a way to still kind of keep this guy grounded. Like, a lot of other characters will give this dude shit for being an orphan.
Yeah, they did mention he's not royalty or something.
Yeah.
But then he's have you seen my shiny golden dick recently?
Yeah.
Serious. I mean, at the same time, it's like, I'd rather he had some bigger internal flaw than just, oh, you're not royalty guy.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I do think I think you kind of hit the nail on the head here, where the why is kind of severely lacking.
Why does he want to be the Wizard King? Because he's the main character of the show, and he has to.
On a positive,
he has to want something.
He wants to be the very best, the best there ever was.
Okay. Okay, it feels like
Pirate Master King.
It feels like this guy went to his editor with the story and Asta didn't want to be the Wizard King, and the editor read it and he's like, but what does your character want?
Yeah, he's like,
You
well,
know,
Wizard King it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It just feels like, oh, he needs to want something. Okay, he can want this.
I want
know, with-
I want to destroy the corrupt bourgeoisie that has instituted this horrifying system of classism on this world.
That
Okay, but
would
what
be
if you wanted to be the
interesting.
Wizard King? Or that.
I feel like that first one would have been a more interesting show because it feels like he picked something and didn't change the character to go with it. Like he had the character in mind, and then he's like, but he needs to want something. Okay, he wants this. How does that character change? He doesn't. That's not good, but we'll publish it anyway.
As one
Alright.
plus, this show it looked decent.
Yeah,
It doesn't look horrible.
Yeah.
I
It
sort
had
of
a
like
really
how
good-
scratchy it is.
They had a good looking scene when he attacked that guy before he got his book at the end. Pretty well animated.
Yeah.
They're like, look, we can animate stuff.
Now, if only we could tell a story.
If only, man, I'm waiting for some like CGI jumping through trees in this show. Just give me
Yeah,
that.
I'm also going to
Sweet,
save
sweet
this for another
sweetness.
episode, but I kind of want to talk. I'll just give you our regular listeners a preview. I will want to talk in the future, but I think we need to move on because we're wasting too much time. But like,
Yeah.
I will say that I am really kind of confused about why this show is getting all this support. Like, I don't understand why it's just out of the gate getting 50 episodes.
Have
Oh
you
yeah,
seen how
I
generic
have
it is?
no
How could
idea.
it fail?
No, they're pushing this hard.
Yeah,
and
I
Pushing
mean,
it
weird,
super
but
hard.
yeah.
I think part of the problem is that they used to have, One Piece and then Naruto and then whatever, and now only One Piece is left, and that's entering its sort of like final stages. And so now they're
Oh,
like,
that's
oh
it's not
shit,
even close to that.
No, it's
Well,
more
no,
like
I'm-
the fact that Naruto ended.
yeah,
is
and they
the
need
most likely
something
reason,
to
but-
like they need something to stand next to One Piece, and then something to hopefully be able to take up the banner when it's gone.
Yeah, I think like this and My Hero Academia, they really want to be the new.
The thing is, though, again, I can understand My Hero Academia. It's doing something different and interesting. There's
yeah.
nothing here to justify 50 episodes.
I mean,
I mean,
they're
I
just
don't
trying
know
to push
because I haven't seen
anything.
it, but like out of the gate, this is the most banal, tropey thing.
I mean, Jump has been trying to push a lot of different things over since Naruto started wrapping up, in hopes that they can somehow replace it.
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
didn't-
surprised they didn't make a 12-episode series. That's all I'm saying. Why didn't they make it 12 episodes and see how it goes? To
Oh, God.
instantly just
I've
put
seen
all their
probably
money
because-
on this.
I've
is
seen
seems
what
crazy to me.
Perot does with 12-episode series. I'm actually kind of glad they didn't.
Okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, it was probably just Jump pushed them to,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is going to be our next big thing. Don't worry about it. It's really popular.
I mean, I would have liked to get this over with, but I can only imagine what a Perot 12-episode Black Clover would have been
God.
like.
Don't even.
Just rushing through 100 chapters of material.
Oh no, they.
Seriously.
I was thinking they would take their time and adequately adapt the material, but you're right. They would have just
Yeah,
done
no,
all of it in
think-
12 episodes.
Think Tokyo
Serious.
Ghoul.
They would have hired they would have literally
Yeah.
hired the Team 4-star team to like do what they did with like the
Yeah.
Kai episodes of Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
no,
Dimension
that would have
W.
been good. That would have been interesting if they had hired the Team 4-star to do, abridged.
Black Clover. I want to be the Wizard King.
Yeah.
I'm the Wizard
The
King
end.
now. Show's over.
All right.
So, let's finally talk about Stardust Crusaders.
You mean Toonami?
JoJo's
Yes.
Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Episode 16, The Lovers, Part 1. In this episode, haggling.
Steely
So
Dan's
much
gonna
haggling.
die.
Steely
not
Dan
gonna
is
make
going to
it.
get fucked up.
There's
Oh,
no
I
way
mean,
he survives.
I'm sorry, Dan of Steel.
Dan of Steel.
It's Steely Dan. Like, they're not even trying to pretend it's not Steely Dan. They're just like, shit, we got to change this guy's
Was it-
name.
But
Fuck
was
it.
his name Steely Dan in Japanese?
Yes.
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 Okay.
I mean, you got to understand that the writer loves sort of like Western
No, I
rock.
get that. But I thought that sometimes he deliberately made it different.
No.
Abdul.
He always
in
goes
parts 1 and
literal.
2, he made it. In parts 1 and 2, he made it a bit different. And then in
Yeah.
part 3, he was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just like, fuck it, I'm popular enough, I don't care. Like
This
his
guy's-
editors, he probably asked his editors, like, yeah, we don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steely Dan is on a level of on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how fucked this guy is. This guy is 2,000% fucked.
It goes up to 11 with this guy.
This
done.
entire episode is him just okay, my brilliant strategy is make Jotaro Kujo as bad as possible.
Like, let's see how that plays out for you, buddy.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
Yes, just point the rifle at your face.
Yeah.
But no, at the start he has to haggle with Joseph over some meat.
Yeah, why was he doing that?
I don't know.
Like,
Because he's a moron.
yeah.
Well, no, wasn't that his opportunity though to slip the thing in his ear or whatever?
No, I think
Probably,
that was
yeah.
when I think that happened when Ibaba died.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
But it could have been that could have been the time he needed for it to actually kill Inuyaba in the first place.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Rita.
No, I can't believe we forgot to do make my stand user grow joke.
Oh, we should.
That was pretty
Can we
gross
go?
too. The way she died.
Oh yeah, no, that was nasty. I mean, like even real Repulsor didn't go out that way.
And then Steely Dan just shits at a table, sips tea, and laughs, and everyone's and the entire JoJo crew is like,
What?
"You're gonna fucking die."
Like, what are you thinking?
I like the idea of his stand. I like the fact that like anything that happens to him, it's like 10 times worse for the grandpa. But at the same time, and it seems pretty strong for a second there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's microscopic inside his body. There's no way they can fight it. Oh wait, no, they can just shrink their stands down.
This seems like some. I've just grown accustomed to the bullshit that happens in JoJo, and this seems like some bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty up there.
Sure, why not?
JoJo seems to pull so much stuff out of its ass that I almost just find it endearing at this point.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
I'm not complaining too much either. It's just weird.
No, I mean it leans into like how ridiculous it is pretty hard, so it winds up getting a lot of leeway for it. But I mean, like this goes all the way back to like Dio somehow learning how to shoot laser beams out his eyes.
Or Joseph just pulling a Tommy gun out of nowhere.
Oh,
that was literally Joseph's superpower.
Yeah.
Just pulls like he has hammer space pockets.
Where did he even get the Tommy gun?
Yep. But like, geez, fucking Steely Dan, man.
He's gonna die horrible.
He's such a dick. Dude, literally like, oh, Jotaro, make a bridge for me. Oh, let me steal your wallet and your watch.
No, dude, what are you doing?
He's not thinking this all the way through.
No, he's not. This is gonna go bad for you, man.
He doesn't watch the show like we do, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
But no, this two-parter is basically the appeal of Jotaro Kujo in one thing. Just this.
He honestly, I feel like he's the most boring of this group, and I feel like they've given a weird amount of focus to Polnareff.
Polnareff is interesting.
Yeah, I know he is, but it's odd. Like, oh, yep, look, another Polnareff episode, and then just a random Joseph episode somewhere in there, and then back to Polnareff.
And then every once in a blue moon, you get a fight with Kakuin and maybe Avdol or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like they have to be like, oh yeah, no, let's get these guys in on it now. I feel like Polnareff and Joseph would probably be the stars of this series if it were not for Jotaro.
Does Polnareff have does he have a counterpart in the previous parts, or he's just kind of a new kind of character?
No, I think he's a new kind of character.
Well, he is kind of the Joseph, the young Joseph of this group.
That's
not what I meant. Like, you know how in the previous parts there was always a speedwagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in this part,
Old Man JoJo is Speedwagon.
It's almost Avdol.
Because the group expanded. Because the group expanded so much. Yeah. There's not really any. Joseph is still Joseph, but he's old now.
Yeah, but he's also Speedwagon.
And then we
To a
have the
certain
first
extent.
like super. This is, I mean, Jotaro really shines in these episodes because he's got this complete asshole to just go full Clint Eastwood on.
I almost don't know if everyone has a straight one for one, and I almost think it might be a little bit weaker for it, as weird as that is, because I don't really understand the appeal of cackling.
Yeah, he seems like the real odd man out.
Like, I don't
think
know what
we
he's
talked
doing
about this
here.
on one of our previous episodes that he's just sort of there. And as far as his character is concerned, he's just the straight-laced student.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Just
the
has
honor
a-
student.
Yeah, Tans in a school uniform. Or was that Jotaro? I forgot who did that.
Who
They
can
both
tell?
they both refuse to take
Okay.
off their uniform.
I respect
And
it.
I don't know why.
You know? Gotta look
Anything else about
snazzy.
this episode before we move on?
Have I talked about how big of a dick Steely Dan is?
Yes.
Or how much he's gonna, or how badly he's
Man
gonna die.
of Steel.
Steely Dan is gonna die bloody.
Dan
Oh,
of Steel will be not like Steel once he's punched 1,000,000 times.
Wait for it, man.
It's gonna be a glorious aura.
Because you two haven't seen this show.
Nope, I haven't either.
No.
Oh man.
Oh shit!
Like it's not even necessarily the thing we know is going to happen to Steely Dan. It's the build up.
Wait, is that the one with the GIF where the guy's like, "Are you gonna punch me now?"
No,
Yes.
that's later in the show.
Oh, that's late. Oh, thank God.
That one is also amazing, but
I keep waiting for that one, and it never happens.
that's
So-
late. That's late in the show. That's
I'm
summer.
gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be waiting for a while.
I might actually get up to that. To keep myself sane on these Black Clover volumes, I've been alternating between volumes of Black Clover and volumes of JoJo. So I'm around like late battle tendency right now.
Ah,
So, speaking of guys who are about to get what they richly deserve, Mobile Suit Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans, episode 32. My friend is dead.
Hey guys, I've got a big surprise for you.
what?
One of the Tekiden kids died.
The gas.
One of these two kids who was clearly gonna die died. Yeah.
The only
Like,
surprising thing is that it wasn't the guy. It wasn't Takaki, who every death flag was for. But it
Yeah.
was like Swerve.
Well, I
and
mean,
the other guy.
they both had plenty of death flags.
Yeah.
Let's be real. But I'm surprised they both didn't die. Like that's what I expected going.
Yeah,
into
that's
it.
what I was expecting too. I was like, these kids are gonna bite it, and it was only the
Yeah.
one. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was a little surprised only one of them ate it, and like, oh, okay, you know.
In this episode, they fight McGillis for some reason because we have no idea who's on what side.
Well, they
We have
fight
no
McGillis
idea.
because the bad guys who are spies are telling him to, and these stupid
Yeah.
kids are too damn gullible.
Yeah, like they're not thinking enough for themselves that, oh, maybe we should, not do this and, want to talk to our boss ourselves.
Like it
There was
literally
a
begs the
point-
question: have they been fighting for the wrong side this entire? Has this guy literally been having them attack the people they should have been fighting with?
Well, no, I think this was a
Probably,
recent
yeah.
thing. Like this entire little conflict was, but I think like it wasn't until the Chad dude got put in a coma or whatever.
That it went
That it
downhill.
happened, yeah.
Yeah. And also, there was a scene where McGillis straight up stops fighting them and goes, "Hey, are you sure you're supposed to be fighting me?"
Yeah,
And the
Yeah.
kids are just like, "Durr, we
Yeah.
supposed to fight you." And
I
then
mean,
Yeah, like-
they probably don't know. I don't think they know who McGillis is.
Right.
yeah, but if your enemy puts down his arms,
yeah.
says,
And he's
"Hold
like,
up,
wait.
don't
it-
fight
it-
me.
this-
I'm not going to attack you. Let's talk about this for a second."
Yeah. He's
And
like,
then they're just like, "I think it's a trick."
Like,
Yeah,
does-
it's
that
sort
would
of
be my
like-
reaction too.
Yeah, like,
well, I mean, he's sort of like going, wait, this doesn't seem right. Are
Yeah.
you sure we're supposed to be fighting? We're technically on the same side here.
yeah. I think that
Galen
was.
Mosa had us paint swastikas on our mechs. Are we the bad guys now?
Are we the baddies?
I think McGillis is just sitting over here. Like, have you guys talked to Orga at all? And they're
Yeah, like, I mean, he literally brought that up. He's like,
Yeah.
so Orga told you to do this, and they're like, yes, and they're like, so you spoke to him? They're like, no. He's like, so why?
So
And they're like-
who's your boss right now? And they're like,
He literally puts the pieces together for them, and they still don't connect the dots.
I know, like, how fucking stupid are these guys? Like, I'm okay with them being fooled up till now, but literally having the pieces put together in front of them.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I didn't like about it, because it was too obvious to me as a viewer.
Yeah.
But I can understand these kids. That's the point. They're inexperienced.
Yeah.
They're quote unquote human debris. They're not supposed to, be that good.
But at the same time, like, they literally had it laid out for them step by step. Like, the fact they couldn't reach the end was sort of like, what are you fucking
I don't know
kidding
what
me?
he could have possibly done more to convince them that maybe they shouldn't attack.
Yeah. I mean, it was basically like the stupidest shit imaginable. And what, can these kids not read or something? It's like,
well, no, they can't actually. I don't think.
Yeah, oh yeah, they can't read. Yeah,
they can't fucking read.
I forgot about that plot in the fucking first season.
You can't even
where they had to
read.
teach them to read. So this show has so many goddamn characters. I legit forgot that Aston was in the first season of this show.
Wait, he was in the first season?
Yes,
Yeah.
remember the human debris arc with that one Joker dude and
The one
his
dude's
brother.
Yeah, they put
Aston was one of those human debris kids from the other ship.
I tried to forget that one.
Yeah,
Damn.
I remember talking to you, but I didn't remember Aston. And yeah, that kid has apparently been here like the whole time. And fuck if I knew.
Shit, I feel like I was told this 2 weeks ago, but like, that arc made so little. Like, I barely noticed it, so I completely forgot it. Outside of how horrible it was.
So the actual people who know what they're doing arrive and put things right.
Yeah.
In a very satisfying scene, by the way.
Oh yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised.
I just wish it wasn't ruined by what came before.
Yeah,
I think that's the whole point, is that the kids they're just not ready to be on the battlefield.
Yeah, like, they're dumb kids, and I can kind of buy it too. I really do, and I've gotten this weird appreciation for Tekkadan with their like rat-a-tat-tat shit. Like, god damn, these guys get cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these guys deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
And also, on top of that, you've got you would expect that from Mikazuki, because he's just
it's
not
Mikazuki,
so.
But like,
But then he hands the gun to Takaki.
Yeah.
And we're like, is he gonna do it? And then like a couple minutes later, you hear bang bang.
it's
like, oh, thank God he did it.
Rest in peace, rat fuck McTraderson.
We lost like Kyle Abear's losing his monopoly over the block.
Honestly, I just hope that like, they fucking teach this kid that, no, you only take orders directly from me now, or like, from now on, don't listen to anything if I'm not on the goddamn screen.
I would assume at this point that kid has learned his lesson.
Was Kyle Abear in Black Clover?
You would think that, but
I don't think so.
Given how stupid some of these characters can be on this show, I'm not entirely buying that.
Mm.
So,
what's up with this one dude
this...
whose body is literally a fridge?
I don't know. That shit was weird.
Oh my god, there was a shot of him in this episode where his head was comically small compared to his shoulders.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with Hush.
Like they just put an apple on top of a fridge and called it a character design.
Yeah. Hush is. I think Hush. Like I think I've said this in previous episodes of this show, that Hush is like the character that they throw in on a new season to sort of just add another person to the cast. And so his whole thing about, like, he wants to be like Mikazuki and be one of the Alea Vignana users, and he just sucks. That's all I get out of it.
Man, so at least my boy Guts got to do something.
Yeah.
Yep, he gets to kill Beardy McEvilface.
I'm glad Berserk is on the block, guys.
No, don't you put that evil on us.
Oh, God.
But no, I love how the scene goes back to, like, Rustle and Juliet, and they're like, oh no, not the bearded gentleman.
See, like, I started putting together this. This was the first time where I actually understood what the fuck was going on in this arc, was this episode. And I was just like...
It's a bad thing.
Yeah, but, like, they kept mentioning Rustle. I'm like, okay, I feel like I almost got this, but I don't know who the fuck Rustle is when they finally showed Rustle. I'm like, all right, I'll remember that now. So
You should
yeah.
remember Rustle.
I didn't remember
Which one is
Rustle.
Rustle?
He's the,
Rustle is the big important Gallahorn dude who's not McGillis.
yeah, I legit
Oh,
didn't
right.
know who the fuck that
Fucking
was.
not McGillis.
The guy who
Yeah.
walks around with Julieta and that brown dude.
I also didn't know who Julieta
You're
was.
right.
I remembered the brown dude, but didn't
Wait,
know.
which one's Julieta?
Only female Gallahorn member that matters.
Oh, the
Wait,
butterfly.
which one? Oh,
Yes.
shit, right.
Right.
Yeah, she's the Mikazuki of Gallahorn.
No, she's the
You
one
should
that's
remember-
like fucking
you should
getting in
remember
the way
those three
during
characters.
the space battle. Okay.
And you should also remember that one dude from like Tewaz, the dude in the yellow striped suit, who just really has this thing, who just really has this hate boner for Naze because he's gonna be some shit.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Naze. Okay.
No, I'm talking
Nope.
about that guy Jastley.
I don't know who that is, but I'll
and-
look out for him.
Don't forget about Biscuit in the mask.
Oh, God.
That's our
Oh,
inside
that was,
joke about who's in the mask. It's Biscuit.
That was a great picture. That was some next level shit posting.
I also appreciated your toilet one.
I agree.
Anyway, shall we talk about Hunter x Hunter?
Should
please.
we? Yes.
Hunter x Hunter episode 75, Ging's Friends and True Friends. So, because Ging is a huge dick, there's a quiz at the end of the game, so if you were just stealing cards from everyone, fuck you.
I mean, it's not really a dick move. It's sort of like, oh, I want you to play the normal way, but you can do this other way, but it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Yeah. You won't
It's like
actually get
those-
rewarded for it.
It's like those
Yeah.
like immersive sims where it's like, well, you can take anything on the skill tree you want, but if you don't do this one of like 5 ways, you're fucked.
Well, I mean, it's more like, you're playing a game and, you're collecting the shit, or you can just go attack other people with your Nen and
Yeah,
steal their
it's
shit.
just to curb cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
think
doesn't
the
tell you
problem
it's doing it. So
that's the problem is they should have said at the very end that, hey, by the way, you're gonna have to take a test, and the winner is the one that gets to,
yeah, having that
Yeah.
like they probably caused deaths from that. So
Yeah, I mean, they should
good
they
job.
should have come straight out and said it, when someone enters the game, like, oh, by the way, knowing all this information about how to get the cards is just as important as getting the cards.
I guess it's real. I guess I wonder how many times that's happened where people got all the cards and they couldn't do the quiz.
Well, never, because the quiz, nobody had ever gotten all the specified slot cards.
Yeah, I mean, a strip
Oh.
of beach
Yeah.
was one of those things that nobody even knew how to do.
Okay, so I feel like we got to talk about the elephant in the room here. So, Neeg.
No,
Neeg.
when that thing showed up on screen, I did like a quadruple take.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Somebody in the booth was, every time somebody had to say that in the booth, they were like, okay, don't
I got
screw
this.
this up.
I
It's
got this.
Neeg.
Neeg.
Put the
Don't-
emphasis right.
Eeg. Like, how many tries did it
Don't-
take them?
emphasize the G, please.
Good thing Ging's name wasn't Ginger.
Oh, boy.
Hmm.
Yeah. We'll let that stoke there for a little bit.
Yeah. Also in this episode, Togashi
Yeah,
yeah. We
in
got
his
to meet Tadashi.
actual room.
I was laughing about
Yeah.
that. I've seen pictures of that guy in his actual room, and that looks like about his actual room.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
mean, apparently he cleaned up a bit after he, started going out with his wife. So,
Also, that is the best spelling of dude I've ever seen.
it really is fantastic.
What do we?
Like,
Yeah.
how many silent letters are in that name?
Ging was
Three
just like,
apparently.
no, that's
All
stupid.
W's.
Your name is this now.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because nobody fucking knew. Oh, you've got like 12 different silent W's in this name? Please.
Also, a Y for some reason.
Wait, there was a Y in there?
Maybe I could be wrong, but yeah, that just looked like keyboard smash.
Well, I mean, in fairness, that's most of Tagashi's English names.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is kind of a wrap up episode. I'm moving
Yeah.
on.
So
We got some great Bisky moments in this episode.
She's so great.
And I'm also really sad because I think this is probably the last time we're going to see her.
There's
Well,
like
you-
one other part, maybe I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a small part after this arc.
Okay,
Before the
but
end.
this is the last we see her in going forward for a while, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for about
I
a year and
don't-
a half, I think.
No.
Oh,
It's earlier in the next arc than later.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I was
Yeah.
thinking about the. Yeah, no, she comes back for a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's
it's,
fun.
It's,
Oh,
it's
good.
not a huge role, but she's gonna be there for.
Yeah,
Cool.
she's going to be there for a nice stretch.
Yeah.
But yeah, get ready for the next arc, which will literally be the entire rest of the show.
Oh
The
yeah.
last half of the
yeah,
show.
You get we're gonna get a random 12-episode arc at the end, but yeah, this is
Yeah.
basically the show now. Is this next one? So hope you like it.
I mean, generally, people seem to very much like it. So,
Some
I
people think it's way too long.
think there's some pacing issue. I haven't ever seen this animated, so take
Yeah.
that. But I think there's some issues pacing wise, but I do think it's fine for the most part. I don't think it's as good as York New.
Also, there's
no,
some
come on,
shit
it's
at the
better.
end of this. There's some shit at the end of this arc, and I don't mean that in a
Yeah.
bad way. I mean, there's
like, it goes down.
Yeah, I don't. Not. I don't want to spoil too much.
No, yeah, no,
So
like
I'll
shit.
shut up there, but
I'm not.
No, shit
I'm
goes
not worried
down.
too much about it because this series has been consistently amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not bad shit. It's just, oh shit.
No, I mean, I was talking about the pacing.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, and especially with
It-
how Madhouse has been handling it, I think
Yeah.
it'll be okay.
I mean, it's not too bad. I think part of why everyone says there's spacing issues with the manga is like it does get a little too wordy at times, but at the same time, the release schedule was like beyond fucked up.
I actually did not read this release schedule wise. Like,
Really?
I read this all at once, and I was like,
I mean,
"Ooh, this-"
most people I know that complain about it were, fellow release schedule readers.
Yeah, I just there's like a few parts here and there where I'm like, oh, it's a weird place for a training arc, but
Well, I mean, they kind of needed it.
yeah, that's fair. But we'll see how it pans out. I want to watch this again, and I'll judge then because what I've learned on my watch of this show is there's a lot of things about this manga that I do not remember.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that you will miss on a first read through that you're not going to see until, you go through the series again.
Yeah. So yeah, excited for it.
Want to talk about Lupin?
Wait, who do you think they found Gene? Like, are we not going to talk about that?
We'll see what happens next
At the-
week.
All right.
Wait for it. Lupin the Third, Part 4, Episode 21. To Hear You Sing Again. In this episode, I'm pretty sure that car was the lady.
Man,
I mean, it was a metaphor for her, I think.
No, I'm pretty
I'm not
sure,
so sure.
her soul was literally in the car.
I don't
Really?
ever know what the fuck is going on with Lupin. It's always
No,
on
I
some
don't think
weird
so.
shit.
Remember, the
No,
show
I-
has
I-
already brought us actual ghosts, The Dream of Italy,
It
and
has.
Action Da Vinci.
Actually, no, I don't think it was her soul was in the car. I don't think it was that complicated. I think it was just, a simple
Yes.
metaphor. Yeah,
There were clear clues that she was the car. First of all,
must have missed them.
the car kept trying to turn around. Remember?
Yes.
It kept
Yes, this is
veering,
true.
and later it wouldn't run when he wanted it
Mhm.
to because of some reason. It's like there are things that the car
Yeah.
was doing on its own.
I guess.
Also,
Muscle
the
memory.
second it got to that one spot, she died. As if her soul was literally released.
And she was catatonic the whole time.
Yeah.
The car was out doing things.
I mean, I guess you could read it that way. I thought it was more, just metaphor.
I mean,
I would normally think that in a show, but this is Lupin, where
I mean, that's true. Like,
supernatural
weird shit does
apparently
happen.
is par for the
Yeah.
course.
I mean, supernatural shit is par for the course, but at the same time, they usually do spell it out very clearly.
I mean, I'm pretty. This felt pretty, not as clear as this girl is a ghost, but it was pretty clear.
I guess.
Yeah, I had kind of issues with this. I feel like Lupin has a tendency to not make episodes like this always super interesting.
I mean, I thought it was just funny how like this episode is just Lupin's out for a drive.
Oh yeah, this is the most casual car chase I think I've ever seen.
Seriously, like Lupin's out for a nice drive, and so is Zenigata.
Like Zenigata's just like, oh yeah, he's going for the roadblock, and they just kind of open it up.
Like, okay, we can't, hurt the car.
But yeah, this is another episode of Lupin the Third. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It would
it's
have been
fun,
more
but that's about
interesting
it.
if Da Vinci was behind all this.
He can't be behind everything.
Yes, he can. He's Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh,
I think we have another one of these quote OVA episodes coming up here also.
Yeah, I think next episode
yeah.
is in Japan, and then after that, there's the last OVA episode.
Yeah, and then there's I think one more episode than the 2-part finale type thing.
Sequel,
really?
you'll probably get a kick out of the out of a character's name next episode with as big a Persona fan you are.
Cool. I guess I didn't realize we were so close to the end.
Oh yeah, this is 5 more episodes.
Okay.
wait, that's it?
Yep.
We'll be done in early January.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Can't wait
I
for
wonder what's
Space Battleship
replacing it.
Yamato.
Oh, right. That's replacing it.
No, it's not. We
No.
don't know that.
Oh.
We don't know that. That was our guess.
I'm just
I mean,
predicting
I should hope.
that fits with the time slot.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait till it's Fairy Tale.
No,
God.
why?
Just kill me. Dude, just kill
Blasphemy.
me now if I got to go through both Fairy Tale and Black Clover.
The Black Clover and Fairy Tale Power Hour. Anime makes me want to be dead.
Like, at least I can go and, like, turn it off and go play Switch or something.
I am kind of wondering what they're going to replace Lupin with. I hope they kind of do kind of a more lower budget show. Maybe you
Space
guys are.
Battleship Yamato.
Yeah, but maybe you're right on that. Who knows?
I
I
mean,
was trying to get it for 2 years, and then suddenly Funimation has it and is simuldubbing it. It's too perfect of a timing.
That's true.
Yeah.
You got to.
I mean, at the same time, there's also a bunch of sort of older shows that would have been on Toonami that never quite got on.
Well, that's what
due
the
to,
Outlaw Star
you know.
slot is for.
Give me G Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of another
Please.
option, I think, too. Yeah.
Just HD G Gundam.
All
I,
right.
feel like I don't know if they'll do that when we have Iron Blooded Orphans on the block.
Maybe
Yeah.
it'll replace Iron Blooded Orphans.
Maybe
Please.
that would be dope, but I guess we'll see.
So, I didn't watch Naruto.
Ooh, I did.
I don't think anyone. Oh, someone actually watched Naruto for once?
Yes, you guys want to hear about it?
I'm not even going
No.
to bother doing the intro for this episode. Tell me about Naruto, Chug.
Oh Christ! Hold on, let me try to remember what the hell happened in this episode.
Nothing happened.
Oh, it was a Gara episode actually. I didn't hate this. Yeah. So we did a flashback. Gara's over here hanging out with Kankuro and Tamari, and Gara has a flashback to when he joined the Corps, and so he met up with Kakashi's team, and they were doing a
Something.
joint mission together. And he had 2 little Ginning dudes with him, and they got attacked by the Sand Onbu
Oh, yeah. Wait, why was Gara's own people attacking him?
because they wanted to kill him because he's Gara.
Because he's the Naruto of their village.
Yeah.
But he's the boss.
No, he wasn't at this point.
He was a kid.
Oh, okay.
It was a flashback to like it was between
right.
probably
right.
him
Okay.
saving Rock Lee, but yeah, so they attack him. Naruto goes and saves him with his little friends because he's just like me, and they fight. And then his little Sand Ginning buddies are like, "You are our friend, Gara," and leaves the Onbu dudes alive to go complete the mission, and it's over.
And is this pre or post I'm Not a Bad Guy Anymore?
This is post I'm Not a Bad Guy Anymore.
Okay, because otherwise it would be
Okay.
weird.
Oh yeah, that would be weird.
It really
I
would.
think this is sometime in between. I'm not sure when this takes place. I think this might be after he saved Rock Lee.
No, it couldn't be after, because after Naruto goes straight away to,
All right,
train.
yeah, that doesn't make sense. But it doesn't make sense for him to be in the regular Corps at this point because when he saved Rock Lee, he came with Kankuro and Tamari.
Yeah.
So maybe they just flubbed the timeline here.
I mean,
don't think they
you
really
think
did.
don't fit in
Yeah,
the
because
canon.
Sasuke's here, so that doesn't make sense for it to be after that.
Maybe it's before and Naruto's just a dumbass.
Yeah, maybe. But what was Gara's flashback? I don't know. I thought this was fine. I like Gara. It was kind of nice to see
All
him
right,
again,
whatever.
actually.
Was there an ostrich?
Oh no, there wasn't, which is unfortunate. I hope that
That's
ostrich comes back.
disappointing.
I don't know why that
That-
ostrich was even in that episode, to be honest.
That ostrich was the best character in that episode.
He was, wasn't he?
Like, I'm not even kidding.
I know. I heard the description and I'm like, oh god, that's the ostrich. I'm like, this ostrich knows what's up.
Can I give you a mild spoiler?
Oh
please.
yes, go for it.
There will be more of the ostrich.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
Yes. Thank you, God.
There is a Lord.
Man, those cats from 2 lineup promos ago sure haven't shown up yet.
Really.
Sometimes they're weird about that with Naruto. Like, it's like,
They are,
here's
aren't they?
clips in this lineup promo that won't air until next year, and it's July,
Mhm.
but fuck it. Whatever makes a good promo, because certainly nothing else will from this show.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like flashback Naruto better than actual Naruto. Shoot.
Yeah.
It has the better
I mean,
soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, you and everyone else.
It has better character. Everything. Every character is better
Like-
there than they are in Shippuden.
Yeah. Apparently, in 2 weeks or so from now, we're getting an episode with the words Team 1010 in the title.
Oh,
so I'm kind of
God.
mildly interested in what the fuck that is.
Not gonna be anything good.
Yeah.
Outlaw Star, episode 13, Advanced Guard from Another World. In this episode,
Yes.
I don't know.
This episode was basically all of the Outlaw Star crew kind of like go their separate ways to have little adventures of their own, and then they kind of meet up in the end.
Except
Like,
for
it completely.
Suzuka, who's
Yeah.
not even in the show.
Yeah.
No,
They,
she came in at the end and wanted to get in on it, but didn't realize that, oh, the episode's over.
They stomped on a cactus, man, that it was begging for his life.
Yep. Well, I mean, he wanted to
Alfina
conquer the
He's
universe.
an ice cold motherfucker who would fit right in with Tekkadan.
Just
No, I
something
think
about
she's
how
got
they
more
handled-
emotions.
How they handled the situation, I thought was just kind of fun. Just Gene being like, "I don't know what's up, guys," while firing his gun into the air.
I like how
Niccolo's
at
over
the
there
end,
like, I think the cactus is taking control of my arm.
I like how at the end everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't get any money from this," and they're like, "Gene, what about you? What about the job you were on?" He's like, "Yes, I was on a job. I was not on a date."
Yeah. Can we all just agree now that Jim is actually the protagonist of this series?
Dude, yes, I would agree.
Well, I mean, he's the one that's actually trying to earn money at this point.
He's the only like rational person.
Well, I mean, Gene's like, he got this cute girl's number, so he gotta call her.
Yeah.
Aisha is my personal protagonist of the series.
Well, yeah, she can't be the protagonist because she's not in it enough, but like she's the best character.
Yes.
Jug, I might have missed this on when I was listening, but what do you guys think of Aisha?
You know,
That doesn't sound good.
yeah, I think she's about what you would expect a cat girl to be.
Oh wow. She's every time she's on the screen in this show, my enjoyment factor goes up 10 points.
Yeah, I don't hate her. I think I like that she sounds exactly like how she would sound. But I find her mildly annoying. I don't.
Yeah, I get it.
It's not
I think I've said that before too on this show. I was like, I
Yeah.
can totally understand if somebody does if she rubs certain people the wrong way. Like I get it. Like I can see that.
She
But for
doesn't.
me, it's like every time she does one of her wacky faces or something, I'm just like, this is great.
She doesn't rub me as wrong of a way as I would think she would.
She's
Which is
just
odd.
the right amount of annoying.
Yeah, where it's not like, oh shit. I think it's kind of how the characters interact with it. Like Jean just always just no sells her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jean's impressive ability to completely overpower females who are many times stronger than him and just throw them out of his shop.
Oh
And
yeah.
also, yeah, that didn't make sense. Also, like the other thing that again I think redeems her is that she's not the kind of like annoying character that is like always like in people's face. Like she does that sometimes, but then in the next scene she'll just, since she's kind of a bubblehead, she'll just suddenly be on board for whatever they're doing and think it's great.
Yeah.
I said females like I'm some MAGA hat asshole. I'm sorry about that.
But yeah, Aisha could beat anyone up, I'm assume.
Yes, but she's too dumb.
The Qatar. I hate that name though.
I love it. I love that I hate it. I hate to love it. I love to hate it.
By the way,
Best.
in the opening of this episode, the narrator did not say Katarl. He said Katarl.
No. Jet.
He did.
That is
fix your
wrong.
shit, Jet.
He did it wrong. He only said it once.
They need to
Also,
fix
that
it.
one insect race is literally just the Sith. This episode
And
came
the-
out. This episode literally precedes the actual Sith because
Oh, really?
Yeah.
they weren't the Sith in the original trilogy. They only became called the Sith in the prequel trilogy.
Oh wow. Okay. So do I don't know. I don't know how this podcast works. Do you guys do the next 2 shows or?
Not really.
Oh, you guys didn't watch like the best Bebop episode?
That's
we
maybe
watched
going
it.
a little far, but it's still
Okay.
good.
It was.
I watched it.
Oh, we
Yeah,
did
it's good.
actually. Yeah, Toys in the Attic. That's all. I won't make you guys talk about it if you don't want. It's cool.
I liked that
Mhm.
that one bird race in Outlaw Star who is apparently just way too
Oh yeah, just touchy. Yeah.
way too
Well, like they're
friendly.
just weird dudes.
Yeah.
They're just weird dudes. I mean, there's friendly and then there's too friendly.
And it's just like doing the weird bird head movements all over the place.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, that's like a neat detail I wouldn't expect them to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was Outlaw Star.
Yep.
That was the block.
We did
It
it.
existed. And you have enough time to go and do your other thing.
Oh yeah.
Hooray!
Right on time. It's great.
All right, then we will let you go because we'll do it for this episode of
Oh, God.
You guys have a weird sign off.
We really do.
we do this every week.
Okay.
Thank you, B-dubs.
Yeah.
Thank you, C. Kohler.
No problem.
Thank you, Chug.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys.
You're welcome.
And be sure to check out Chug's podcast. If you don't, it's the Toonami Showdown.
It's better than ours.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, thanks.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
I'm just kidding. You guys are great.
So nice.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 83. Good night.